I will say this. I wish they hadn't wasted the term "the best he is at what he does" on Wolverine, and I don't mean it needs to go to Hawkeye, but I think it needs to go to like everybody. Everybody in the Marvel universe is the best
Except
they
for
is at what they do.
Squirrel Girl.
Well, she's a great babysitter.
Squirrel Girl.
She,
Whatever. Squirrel Girl.
she's fucking hot. I'm
can
so
beat-
into Squirrel Girl.
She beat Dr. Doom on her own.
That's true.
Dude. I'm so into
She
Squirrel
is-
Girl.
Because
she's-
because he underestimated her.
In theory, she is one of the most powerful things that exists in the Marvel U.
Yeah. So is Sue Storm.
Arguably speaking.
Argument, yeah. So is Sue Storm.
Like if you were to stretch Squirrel Girl's powers, she could take over the earth if she
Call
damn
all the
well felt
squirrels.
like it. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
all them
And
squirrels
there are so
everywhere.
many squirrels. God.
Everywhere.
Hi, and welcome to Probably Comics. I'm Thomas.
I'm Tyler.
I'm Link.
and this is our weekly segment, What's in the Box?
What is in the box?
Where
What is in the box?
we talk about the comic books that are in our pull boxes.
I don't know.
So here's how it works. We got a nice big stack that's got one of all the books that the three of us collectively read, and we're going to go through them one by one and say what we thought.
All right.
Yep.
Shall we?
Why not?
Let's
I
kick it
think
off.
We shall. We've got Avengers number 22 from Mr. Bendis.
It's also, you should mention the artist.
Oh, Guedes.
He sucks.
The art is not great.
The art is so bad that I hated this book, and
And
I don't remember what happened.
Was it Tyler that pointed out?
Yes.
I didn't read it.
Yeah. Can you tell us what you found?
Yeah,
Tyler?
there's a scene in, I think I'm too loud. There's a scene in the book where Spider-Woman speaking with her mother.
Yeah, Madam
It
Hydra.
doesn't make any sense. They look
Yeah.
the same age.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a reason?
I have no concept.
What was
She's
it?
not
Nick
Is she
Fury's
a super
got?
soldier?
Enough,
Like
What's
Captain
it that
America?
Nick Fury's got?
the Infinity stuff?
Yeah, is it that?
Infinity Serum?
Probably. I mean, who's not taking that?
True.
Like everybody. Well, yeah, Thomas is.
Real life Thomas. Ultimate Thomas has. So yeah, there's a scene when Spider-Woman is all locked up and her mommy's talking to her, and there's like a 4-panel line. I don't even know how to say it. 4-panel line that every other panel is the exact same panel,
Yeah.
just with different word bubbles.
So
It's
they-
just super lazy. It's just like copy paste.
They put two sets of two panels next to each other.
Yeah.
With the same.
I don't know if it was a mistake because it
Just
doesn't.
like an AB.
Yeah.
And is the idea maybe that it's like.
Our faces don't move when we speak.
Yeah, or like
Of course
it's
not.
a camera and the camera's like it's like a tennis match where you go back and forth.
I mean, I
Like,
guess,
don't-
but I've never seen. I can't think of any other time I've seen that. It was really,
Or at least that it's really bothered you.
yeah.
I think I'm done with this Norman Osborn hammer.
It's almost over.
thing.
It's over like next
Yeah.
issue, isn't it?
Soon. Actually, yeah, I saw it somewhere it said the hammer
Yeah.
falls.
Hammer falls
So,
next. Yeah.
like I'm happy that it's going to be over. And I like seeing new versions of Dark Avengers. I think that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But
I mean, this Avengers book has been really solid. I mean, what
Yeah.
I've read, I just started reading it when
I think
Storm
it's been
came
really
on.
strong.
and it's been good. And this is just like I think it's a fill-in artist.
Yeah.
So it just wasn't.
All right. We've got Jason Aaron
Speaking of.
and Lionel Sanders. If I don't know your first name, I'm gonna make one up for you. Artist.
I don't know what his name. He's a fill-in artist too.
Yeah.
Oh, there's two fill-in artists actually. The first half's drawn by somebody, and then the second half's drawn by somebody else.
This is Wolverine 301.
Did you read it, Link?
No, I did not.
I didn't get there yet.
I read it.
I didn't read 3 books this week. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Can you actually leave the podcast? You fired.
It was okay.
Yeah.
It was like the 300 wrote a check that 301 couldn't cash. It's just more of him in Japan.
Yeah, I was really excited about this whole he's going to fight the Silver Samurai thing.
And
like it was
he's
gonna be
fighting
Yeah,
the
I did
son
read that.
of the Silver Samurai.
Well, it's the new Silver Samurai. I've
And
been
he's
reading it.
bitch. He's a little bitch.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's a bitch.
So I mean, it was okay. Not Jason Aaron's finest. Again, it probably was the art that screwed it up because
Word.
it's like the art's not great to begin with, and there's a drastic change in the middle of the book. So,
All right. Tyler's book of the week is DC Comics. I can't even say it with a straight
Jesus
face.
Christ.
DC Comics presents, or DC Universe presents, Challengers of the Unknown. I'm joking, by the way.
It was terrible.
Was it that bad?
I don't know this team of characters. Apparently, they're a much beloved team of like a DC team created by Jack Kirby.
So wait, this guy who's on the front, he's like a big mountain person?
Evil mountain.
Do you go inside of him
man.
and find
Not yet.
the genie's lamp?
Not yet. That's
He looks like
coming
the Cave of Wonders.
diamond in the rough.
up. It was like, I mean, it's like their reality show, and they crash in the.
New Warriors.
I don't know. They crash land in the snow.
Yeah, but they're not going to destroy an entire town.
When they wake up, they're in like some monk monastery, and the monks are like, "Hey, look at all this cool stuff," and then they wake up again, and they're not. But everybody remembers it like they were. It was so stupid.
And then there was a DC Civil War.
I mean, it's terrible. Like it's because the Dead Man was the first one, and they did a 5
and that was not good, right?
No, they did a 5-issue arc of Dead Man. So I figure like every 5 months I'll pick it up again and try to figure out if it's good or not. This is garbage.
So is this the same writer, or is this a new writer?
No, it's like it's an anthology piece,
Okay.
so it's like a different writer for each thing. As I think, I don't know.
I feel like sometimes DC gets lazy and they say, all right, we're not going to design a costume or give anybody powers, but we're going to give them all the same patch on their shirts. Like Blackhawks and this, like these guys all have the hourglass thing, and it's like, okay, and so now you're...
That's it.
Now they're a super team.
Yeah, now you're worth writing a comic book about.
Garbage.
I don't get it. All right, guys. Man, I'm not getting to talk about anything hardly. Generation Hope, number 16.
We're one away. This is the next to last issue.
Asmus and Miyazawa. Frank Miyazawa.
Penultimate issue.
It ends with the next issue because in the next month, of course, will be Avengers versus X-Men.
So we're done with Generation Hope.
Gen Hope is canceled.
Bummer.
Well, it makes sense.
Not canceled, canonically coming to an end.
Right. There's no reason for it to go on because it's like the whole story of Gen Hope was leading up to what's going on in AVX pretty much, right?
Right. At least as best as I can tell.
May not have started out that way, but they were like, listen, this book's not selling well. Here's the thing. Be done by May.
Yeah. We need you out.
It was interesting. I'm interested to see how the next issue turns out. Basically, what's going on is Zero, he's like a skin sculptor or something. I don't know. He's basically turned everyone against Hope and has decided that if she wants to be the mutant messiah, then she needs to die for them.
Is he one of the Five Lights?
Yes.
Yeah.
His argument being that ever since the lights were activated, that she's had them on a leash.
Right.
And that she can control the extent of their powers as much as use them against their will to use their powers.
Right.
He sounds like a dick.
He's being
a baby.
Being a big old baby.
Well, and the thing is, like, he also probably doesn't want to look like that, and it's her fault that he does.
Right.
So, because he's pretty ugly.
Word.
I am sad to see it come to an end. I have really enjoyed the Gen Hope stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's got to.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
The new Avengers, number 21,
Mm-hmm.
Bendis and Miguel.
This time it's
Delgado.
flip-flopped because this book was better than Avengers was. And last
Yeah.
time Avengers was better than New Avengers was.
When usually Avengers is just edges out New Avengers.
Yeah. Well, New Avengers there was like a fight. It was awesome. It was a really awesome fight where Spider-Man basically was Colossus.
He was so good.
Because he was throwing people at Valhalla.
Ragnarok.
Yeah,
which is fake Thor.
right.
But yeah, really good fight. Sort of pushed everything along.
Yeah.
Like,
It's good, and we're getting closer to fighting Tommy Lee Jones.
who?
I mean, Norman Osborn.
Tommy Lee Jones.
He does look just like
Tommy Lee Jones.
Have we discovered how he has strength?
He's just got he's got powers that we don't know about because he's got more than strength.
He's the Green Goblin.
Yeah, didn't he but this is different.
Yeah. We don't know.
Hmm.
They'll probably have to explain that somehow. In the
I
next
wish
2
they
books.
would maybe give that a couple issues instead of maybe waiting until one
Why
issue.
do that? We could just see Captain America get tortured for a whole issue.
True.
And shitty art.
Fair enough.
Boring.
Here comes Daredevil, the Man Without Fear, number 9.
Did you read this, Link?
Nope.
It's
Because
it was way
like,
good.
You guys were like, the first 4 issues were great, and then like the next 4 issues suck balls. So like,
Yeah.
That I never said.
They didn't suck. They were not as good.
not as good as the
like
first.
the first 4 were so good.
It was worth sticking through.
Yeah, absolutely. This one's really good. no pun intended, a much darker.
Wow.
Well, I mean, like he's basically fighting the moloids because the moloids are like took all the coffins out of a cemetery so that Mole Man could find this lady and dance with her. It was the creepiest thing I've ever seen.
No idea what's going on, but it's really fucked up.
It's just like one page of him opening up a coffin, it being a dead lady, and him like dancing. And it just like didn't explain it. It was just that, and you were just like, what?
Yeah, I assume the next issue is going to have a lot of these creepy questions that I have answered.
Hopefully.
But, oh man, it's weird.
Well,
it's really good though. I there was not a moment in it that I did not enjoy.
And
cool.
We should also say Paulo Rivera
Kicking ass and taking names.
He's back on art because he hasn't been on it for a couple of issues.
Okay.
And what was so like one of my favorite panels probably of the week because we're not talking about Secret Avengers with Captain Britain. It was when he was floating in the on one of the coffins, and he can't see anything because it's dark, and so he just sees like an empty cavern with his sonar, but really there's like all these like big monsters like surrounding him, but they're inconsequential. It's just a cool thing.
Batman number 6, Woo. Scott Snyder, Greg C. DC tells you their first names.
Greg Capullo. Without who this book would not be as great as
it is awesome though.
Oh man, it's so good. It's absolutely so good in every way.
But check this out. You can have an awesome Batman book without having to turn it around.
Well, oh, yeah.
Yeah, no one said that was a necessity.
It's a joke. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
But this is the first book I read this week. This is the one that was like, I have to read this before I read everything else. The last one was such a cliffhanger that I just my patience was being tested and I had to find out. I thought it was way good. I loved the twist at the end. I still love Batman with the one lens being out and looking all crazy.
Help me out with the twist at the end.
There are a ton of Talons, and they're all
and they're sleeper agents.
Well, they might be dead.
Literally.
They may be zombies. Like they may be reanimating corpses.
Yeah, that may be why you can't kill them.
Right. So it's been good. Batman drowning.
I guess.
How's he gonna get out of that one?
Yeah, no kidding. But Scott Snyder kicking ass, taking names as per usual.
Did both of the big Bat books end in him drowning? Didn't Detective Comics 6 end with him drowning? Yeah, because him and his girlfriend are stuck in that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
he's all sad about.
Yeah, he's drowning
her.
in 2 different books right now. 5 years ago and now. So he should know how to get out of this.
If there's anyone who should know.
Okay, next is me and only me. I'm still getting made fun of for Fear Itself the Fearless, 9 of 12.
Is it 9 of 12?
Yep.
I thought it was 7 last time we did this.
Well, we skipped a week.
Yeah, but we only skipped a week. Aren't they every 2 weeks?
Know. Yeah, they are. I got them all.
Huh.
It's okay.
It doesn't matter.
Cool thing about this is a big Valkyrie Storm battle, but I can't.
Wait, what?
Valkyrie fights Storm.
Why? Why is Valkyrie?
Because she goes to Utopia to get their hammer. They have the Juggernaut's hammer, so she's collecting all the hammers. And they finally gave us some insight into why she's collecting all the hammers, and that's what it is. That's why this was actually a really good book.
How does she collect the hammer? Oh, is it because she's not a worthy that she doesn't? Nothing happens to her when she gets the hammer.
You know,
how she hold it?
That I cannot answer because everybody
does.
does. A bunch of people, because Sin is trying to get him, and Sin's trying to get him to use him again. And what we find out is that Valkyrie is trying to get them all, and she can take them and put them in there's like a space that is her soul. Like she can hide them all inside of her soul, and then she's gonna kill herself. So and destroy them. Yeah, it just kind of got
Secret Avengers then.
I don't know. It's not gonna happen. But loophole. It's comic books. You know,
it's
no one does.
Durr.
Yeah. But she fights Storm. The only thing I find unbelievable about this is that she beats Storm. Like, no one beats Storm
ever.
Ever. Like, I get she's the main character, but no one beats Storm. Winter Soldier number 2.
It was pretty cool.
I dug, man. Gosh.
It was pretty cool. I'm still not like super into it. I think the art's really cool. I think the art's better than the writing, frankly. I also don't really give a shit about Bucky.
I kind of do. I don't know.
I just never have.
You know, I'm last time we talked, I said I was going to eat a little crow. I'm like officially eating Brubaker's whole crow pie. I'm so into him now. And I started reading Captain America on these last 8 issues, and I freaking love what he's doing.
You're reading Fatale?
No.
Okay.
Is he doing that?
Yes, that's his
Okay.
creator-owned book.
Well,
right
then
now.
I'll check that out.
I'll give you a lend.
Word. But you said it's weird and doesn't make.
Yeah, I mean
sense.
it's really weird, and it'll probably make more sense later. But
Cool.
if that's what you're into,
You do love Brubaker.
Yes,
So-
I'm officially a fan, and this book is Winter Soldier is great, and I'm having fun.
Okay.
And that's what's important, Tyler.
yeah,
what's important.
to me, it's like
love
Nightwing. I just don't care.
Thunderbolts, number 170. That's you, bro.
Yeah. I don't remember what happened.
Not important enough.
Move on. They're in King Arthur's court and they're
Oh,
fighting
yeah.
Merlin, and it's,
Oh, they're still there.
no. Oh no, they got out. They figured out what was wrong, and they got back to their time period. But there are a few years. There are a few years before where they're supposed to be. So now the Thunderbolts of a few years ago are going to fight the future Thunderbolts. So it's pretty good. You can put it down.
Is that Sabretooth?
No, that's a Hyde.
Oh, okay, cool. Word.
Yeah, it's really if you're not already reading it, you're not going to read it. So
Is this the final
no,
issue in the arc for?
No, the
Okay.
next one will be.
Yeah.
I don't even know if the next one will be.
Well,
It's-
because then the issue app we'll have
Then
to do
we'll
next
start
month,
doing
and then the
ABX.
next one will
well,
have
they're
to be
double shipping.
next
We
month.
are, by the way,
Yeah.
talking about Uncanny X-Men number 7, which is the Tabula Rasa
Apex.
Apex. Man,
Maybe.
super cool.
It's
Unwife.
Really good.
Yeah.
Unwife.
It's so weird.
I love that. I love how condescending he is throughout this entire
Who,
book.
Apex?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like he's just
Wait, the
Unwife.
Savage or the Immortal Man, or the.
the
The
savage.
quote savage, the one that learns our language and
Good
stuff.
Apex.
Oh yeah, he's such a dick.
I loved it. I thought he was such a what am I trying to say? Milquetoast character, and then he became like this super Reed Richards character where he's a dick to everybody because he's so smart.
Because he's so smart.
Yeah.
He can't get how stupid you are.
Right, and so
Or he assumes you're stupid.
yeah, he gives them no credit at all for for being able to understand things like unwife. They're just using that phrase and they don't define it.
Something tells me that Karen Gillan wrote these guys with an English accent in mind.
yeah.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
like how
That's how I'm
he
reading
feels about Americans.
Yeah, that's how I'm reading it. It's good. It's picking up, man, because it was not good for a long time, or not good for the first couple of issues, and it's really good now. Speaking of really good,
I feel like everyone loves Scarlet Witch more than
they should.
more than I think they should. I think she's I think she's a good character, but man, they've been giving her a ton of credit lately in the last couple years.
Yeah.
But in Ultimate Comics X-Men number 7, she's kind of badass. And as as
Really do
sharp,
anything.
but Quicksilver, who has put all this shit into motion,
Yeah.
she puts a thumb down on his ass.
Yeah.
She big sisters the shit out of him.
Big time.
Yeah.
And then he goes to Egypt to see, quote, God.
And
who should it be?
Oh my God.
But Magneto, who is dead somehow.
But he's not.
But he's not dead.
Does that mean Xavier's? Does that mean is everybody else who apparently died?
It's a great
Are
question.
we gonna
I
get
don't know.
everybody back?
I don't know because
We kinda get
Cyclops killed Magneto in Ultimatum, so I don't know. But yeah, Xavier's there and Magneto's there. I'm not sure if they're shapeshifters or what's going on, but that was a pretty big reveal.
It's pretty awesome.
It's great.
Thomas,
It's still good.
tell us about Road Rage number 1 from IDW and Mr. Stephen King.
Yeah, so I picked up Stephen King and Joe Hill's Road Rage on a whim, and it's pretty cool. It seems to be about a biker gang in mid-schism.
It's Sons of Anarchy.
It's about, apparently there was it's a meth deal gone wrong where they're out $60,000, and some of them are getting too old for this shit, and some of them are out for revenge, and there was some really, really awesome violence at the end. I hate to put it that way, but that's what it was. I mean, I thought
They
it was
got
really
killed
cool.
so good.
I will totally buy issue 2.
Have you guys
Cool.
seen Sons of Anarchy?
I've heard it's
Exact story.
wonderful.
But yeah, I will definitely be buying issue 2 if that is the question at hand. I would say if you're looking for a book that is not a superhero book, give it a try. It's pretty cool. The art's really good. The panel transitions and panel borders are really creative. Like, I was impressed.
How is Stephen King at writing just dialogue?
I can't confirm this, but I would assume that he is not scripting.
Okay. You think he's writing the narrative and then somebody's scripting it for him?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be my bet.
I think that's a solid bet. Can we take a second to talk about Peter Panzerfaust #1?
Yeah.
Before we move on.
Yeah. How was that? Because
Oh my God.
I wanted to find it and it seemed very
And it's
difficult to
just
track down.
nowhere.
It's your. I mean,
You should call Legion and see if he's good. I mean, he's the guy that got everything.
well, he has back issue. He doesn't get a lot of indies, but anyway. I mean, I went all over Orlando looking for it and couldn't find it. Peter Panzerfaust is about it's told from the point of view of one of the orphans
Of Toodles.
Toodles, the lost one of the lost
yeah.
boys. And the backstory is that it's there's an orphanage and it gets bombed, and there are like however many lost boys there
In
are
World War II.
In
we
World War
should
II,
add.
France.
In France.
Yeah, France. Right.
in Nazi occupied France, just after the British retreat out of France. So they're the lost boys because their orphanage got blown up, and so they're like running for their lives from Nazis. And this dashing American shows up with a gun and like a knife in his boot, and his name is Peter Panzerfaust. Well, his name's Peter. I don't know that his last name's actually Panzerfaust in the book or not. And it's basically a take on Peter Pan, but it's very subtle. If you didn't know that,
You may or may not get
you
it.
may or may not get it. Because there's like subtle like stuff that they have to like jump across a 20-foot like a 20-foot alley to get to the second window on the right. But it's 20 feet and none of them believe they can do it, but then he does it because he flies, and so they all believe and they fly as well.
Yeah, second star on the right and straight on till
Yeah,
morning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's very subtle. It doesn't beat you over the head with the fact that it's Peter Pan.
My sister's gonna love that.
But it is so good. It's so well drawn. The only issue I had with it was that it just kind of stops and it ends really abruptly.
Was it just a one shot?
No, it's a 5-issue mini that he hopes if it does well, he will write 30 of.
Who's this from? What's the?
I don't know.
Is it Image? Who's
It's Image.
publishing it? That's what I thought.
His book just got canceled. It was Green something. I don't remember. He had an Image book got canceled.
Word.
It's fantastic. If you can find it, get it. It's $2 or $3 on Comixology. Well worth it.
I read a 5-page preview and it looks awesome.
It's really good.
Sweet. So we're gonna talk about this next one because
We're not.
well,
because Link bought it by mistake.
I bought it on accident, and what basically all we're gonna say is, if you are still reading Wonder Woman, why?
Yeah.
Why?
You're probably not. I don't.
Yeah, I was pulling it, and then we decided last time that it was just so terrible, and it was in my pull, and I had a huge stack, and I didn't even think about it.
The original artist is back on this one though, isn't he?
I don't know.
What's the name?
Akins.
Oh no, I
Tony
guess not.
Akins.
I mean, whatever. The number one question I have is this part of the big creative staff changeover thing that's happening in issue 9? Like, are they getting a new creative team
No.
for Wonder Woman? Why?
Are they just going to cancel, or are they just going to keep going with
you
this?
can't cancel Wonder
Well,
Woman.
that's true.
You can't. And as far as I know, they're not getting a new creative team because actually the people that like this book love it.
What?
He's apparently
It's terrible.
I agree, but apparently, like people that really like this particular writer is a darling of the comic book industry.
Yeah.
So people really seem to enjoy it.
We all read Supergirl #6. Actually, Thomas.
I haven't read it yet, but I did buy it.
So we all bought Supergirl #6.
Was it better than last
It
month?
was. Yeah, absolutely.
Not that
Not
that's,
by much.
that's much of a bar to set, but
Not by much.
No, yeah. So I was talking about this to the fellas earlier. In this current climate that we find ourselves with, where everything's sort of new and everything's sort of getting redone, if you want to hold on to something, if you want to make something really good, you need to have good villains.
Absolutely.
And she doesn't right now.
Well-
This Reign.
She's
Now I'm
like,
excited about the other World Killers. I'm sort of.
Yeah, but that's what she is though. She's like a Kryptonian experiment that her
Yeah.
father built. Right?
I'm-
Isn't that right?
Well, probably. I
Yeah.
don't think we know exactly who's responsible for
I think
them.
her father was like
Zor-El?
because she
somehow
said
connected.
Yeah,
well, when
yeah.
she was like training, they were like, well, she's a scientist, not a fighter. So I think her dad is a scientist. I'm pretty sure
Mhm.
he'll probably be the guy that was responsible for that. Isn't
Well, all
Yeah, so is
Kryptonians
Jor.
are scientists by nature, aren't they?
Yeah, Jor-El was a
Jor-El
scientist
was
as
a
well.
scientist?
But yeah, so it was ready for next month.
Can I say something
Not
else?
giving up.
Are Kryptonians Jedi? Why did
What
they
do you
appear? Why did they appear to Supergirl in like faded green? I was like, is that Hayden Christensen?
Tyler, talk to us about Marvel .679.1 on the Amazing Spider-Man.
This issue kind of like solidifies why point 1 is so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Because it's between arcs. So really, if you just started reading after the point 1, you're in the new arc. Like there's just no reason to pick it up on point 1 because point 1 is like a standalone story. It's Morbius, the living vampire.
Why not? Yeah, why not just not call it point 1 and just do a one and done?
I don't know. Because
Like
I guess the
everyone
only
else.
thing I can think is that one and dones are harder to like if you're going to the comic book store for the first time and you're like, you can't tell unless it's got a big point 1 on it. But it's just like it's Morbius, the living vampire, who's apparently best friends with the guy who runs
Horizon
Labs.
Right, I remember that.
And it's Peter Parker and this new science kid named Uatu, who's
Isn't that the Watcher?
Uatu?
Isn't that the Watcher's name?
I don't know.
I think
He's
I
a
think
child.
That is.
Yeah,
Is the
but
Watcher
Maybe
a
he's
child?
named after the Watcher.
yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it's his son. I don't know. But anyway, so his field of expertise is he researches monsters. So he's got a suit to defeat every different kind of monster. So he's got a Frankenstein suit, a vampire suit, et cetera, et cetera. So him and Spider-Man team up to beat Morbius because Morbius is trying to figure out a way so that he does. It's basically True Blood. So, I mean, it was all right, but why? Why?
This is a really idiotic cover too.
It's a terrible cover.
Yeah, agreed.
But it was only $3.
Oh, and save 99 cents.
Yeah.
Or actually pay 1 penny extra.
Saved a whole dollar.
Venom Circle of 4 Part 3 of
Man.
however many. I dig it. I'm having fun. But
It's not what I wanted it
no, I
to
don't.
be.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't about Ghost Rider.
It confirms
No kidding.
It confirms my greatest fear that like no one can write but Rick Remender. He's the only
Yeah.
person that can write anymore. And like there's a reason why these people's books are getting canceled because they suck.
Yeah.
It's not like it doesn't make any sense to be like, well, these books are getting canceled. Why don't you guys do one last hurrah and fuck up Venom for a month?
And all those the antithesis.
That was so stupid.
They don't make any sense. They're like they could have been done so much better. I mean, I guess they do make sense.
Well,
Like-
in that like there's a few that I don't quite understand, and one of the ones that really really bothered me about this issue was I think on Comixology it says who is Icar and like what does he want with Venom. I thought was
nowhere in there.
Icar is the only member of the antitheses that did not appear once in the entire
Which
book.
which one
The
is
big
that?
white one with
Yeah,
wings.
she's against she's
Rider.
Ghost Rider's antithesis.
Yeah.
and is nowhere to be seen, let alone with the Ghost Rider.
And I don't
Yeah.
understand like Venom's antithesis is Preacher.
It's like it's like a teetotaling.
It was so stupid. It just
Yeah.
and then like Red Hulk's is a big brain that can't
Yeah.
speak. I'm like that. What I don't. It's the dumbest thing ever. I hate it.
It's really silly.
X-23's is kind of cool. The
The
cheerleader, girl. Yeah,
It's the only one that
I
seems
guess,
fitting.
but
though.
yeah,
who
exactly.
cares?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Like and then it's like, well, you don't get to regenerate because this is hell. And I was
Yeah.
like, I fucking
Loophole.
hate
And then
mythology.
we're gonna find out whether or not she actually has a soul. So
She
Fart,
does.
fart, whatever.
she does
Okay.
because she couldn't be in hell if she didn't. Isn't that
Yeah,
what
well,
Blackheart said?
at least that's what Blackheart says. That doesn't make it true.
Well, fuck that. Fuck Venom Circle of 4. I hate it, but I will continue to read it.
I read Blue Beetle #6. I like Blue Beetle. You can fart all you want, and I like it because I'm into.
This one's not getting canceled, is it?
I hope not, because
I don't think it is.
I like it a lot, and I don't want it to change. And
Didn't
it's
you
just
say
cool.
last month that you weren't really liking it?
Yep, and I lied.
You gave in to peer pressure?
Yes, I did.
What peers? Nobody's
yeah.
reading Blue Beetle.
No, man, I just
No, we just make fun of him for it a lot.
Yeah. I like the Reach. I'm ready for them to fight the Lanterns.
Mhm.
Like it's cool. It's a blast of a comic book. I dig the young hero thing. Like,
Sure.
and Static Shock was not giving me what I wanted out of that.
Well, it's gone now.
Apparently
anyway.
was not giving the writer what he
Yeah,
wanted either.
exactly.
Hasn't given
well,
anybody anything
yeah.
because it's gone now.
So this is what I wanted Static Shock to be, and it's cool. And
Is it? Jaime Reyes. Is that his name?
Jaime Reyes.
Jaime.
Yeah. And also all the little back and forth between him and the suit is really cool. It's really funny.
It's a Knight Rider.
Huh. Yeah. Or like Star Kid or
That's a good movie.
or what was Flight of the Navigator, that sort of
Mhm.
idea that he's talking to him. It's cool.
Yeah.
I think Thomas, did you get to
Oh hell yeah!
Avenging?
That was the second one I read.
cool Avenging Spider-Man? Did you like it?
Yep.
I loved it.
You did.
Yep. It was
Tom-
really good.
Tyler, the whole till the whole time he's like,
Yeah.
"Fuck, it's not
I
going to be
know.
good with Hawkeye, but
I
it's like
know.
it's going to be incredible with
Well,
Hawkeye.
and I
it
loved
was.
in the
was.
first 5 pages they spend a lot of time to deal with Hawkeye as a normal person on a billion super teams and what
Yeah.
kind of pressure he's under.
Oh
to
yeah, he's
be,
like, I
can't
I don't
perfect.
miss. I can't miss.
Yeah, it's not that he can be like better than everyone else. It's that he has to be perfect, or else he just becomes
He's
everybody else.
He's just a person. I am retracting everything I said about Avenging Spider-Man #4 before I read it. It's very good.
Zeb
it's,
Wells.
It's only good because Zeb Wells gave Hawkeye context.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
if it had been Hawkeye from Secret Avengers, it would not have been good. It's only good because it's their relationship is Spider-Man is like, well, I don't want him to feel like a dumbass, so yeah, you got him. You know what I'm saying? And like Spider-Man got him. Like that's Spider-Man finished the whole thing, and he let Hawkeye take the credit so that Hawkeye didn't kill
because
himself.
because Hawkeye missed by all of like a foot.
Yeah, not by much.
By the way,
It's
Zeb
700
Wells-
yards.
Zeb Wells, if you're listening, I'm going to buy you a drink. I want to hang out with you.
Thanks for listening to Probably Comics in our weekly segment, What's in the Box?
What's in the box?
If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me at Uncanny Tom. That's THOM.
And if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at DT Mills.
You know, I sure would like it if you'd follow me on Twitter. It's at LinkZ2.
And if you want to follow the show on Twitter, even though I think the only thing we ever say is, hey, look, the podcast is up,
We don't even say that anymore.
is at Probably Comics. And you can check us out at facebook.com/probablycomics.
Or just check us out at probablycomics.com.
This podcast is unofficially brought to you by Kingdom Comics in Pasadena Hills, Alabama.
Thanks, Dan.
Albert,
The other guys.
Roscoe,
And the other 3.
Stan and Albert. The ones we see.
Jason.
That's
Jason.
it.
Jason. Yeah.
Jason. He never talks to me.